Welcome to IMDbios, a weekly, short-form old Hollywood biography series featuring mini biographies of Golden Age stars written 100% by IMDb users. This series will serve as teaser bios for various Golden Age stars that will be featured on the long-form old Hollywood biography series in the future. It will also serve as a way for you to vote on who your favorite stars are and who you want to see featured in the long-form bios series. Please be sure to like and leave a comment on each IMDbio. Tell me what you loved about it, what you want to see more of, and who you want to see featured next. The first 8 episodes of IMDbios will feature the most popular actresses of the Golden Age of Hollywood. After those are released, your votes in the comments will determine who I cover next. And now, let's begin. Please sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy our feature presentation. Ingrid Bergman was born on August 29, 1915, in Stockholm, Sweden, to a German mother, Frida Henrietta Adler, and a Swedish father, Justus Samuel Bergman, an artist and photographer. The woman who would be one of the top stars in Hollywood in the 1940s had decided to become an actress after finishing her formal schooling. She had had a taste of acting at age 17 when she played an uncredited role of a girl standing in line in the Swedish film Landskamp in 1932, and Ingrid was hooked. Her parents had died when she was just a girl, and the elderly uncle she lived with didn't want to stand in the way of his niece's dreams. The next year, she enrolled at the Royal Dramatic Theatre School in Stockholm, but decided that stage acting wasn't for her. It would be more than 3 years before she would have another chance at a film, and when she did, it was more than just a bit part. The film in question was The Count of the Old Town in 1935, where she had a speaking part as Elsa Edlund. After several films that year that established her as a class actress, Ingrid appeared in Intermezzo as Anita Hoffman. Luckily for her, American producer David O. Selznick saw it and sent a representative from Selznick International Pictures to gain rights to the story and have Ingrid signed to a contract. Once signed, she came to California and starred in United Artists' 1939 remake of her 1936 film, Intermezzo, reprising her original role. The film was a hit, and so was Ingrid. Her beauty was unlike anything the movie industry had seen before, and her acting was superb. Hollywood was about to find out that they had the most versatile actress the industry had ever seen. Here was a woman who truly cared about the craft she represented. The public fell in love with her. Ingrid was under contract to go back to Sweden to film Only One Night in 1939 and June Night in 1940. Back in the US, she appeared in 3 films, all well received. She made only one film in 1942, but it was the classic Casablanca opposite Humphrey Bogart. Ingrid was choosing her roles well. In 1943, she was nominated for an Academy Award for her role in For Whom the Bell Tolls, the only film she made that year. The critics and public didn't forget her when she made Gaslight the following year. Her role of Paula Alquist got her the Oscar for Best Actress. In 1945, Ingrid played in Spellbound, Saratoga Trunk, and The Bells of St. Mary's, for which she received her 3rd Oscar nomination for her role of Sister Benedict. She made no films in 1947, but bounced back with a 4th nomination for Joan of Arc. In 1949, she went to Italy to film Stromboli, directed by Roberto Rossellini. She fell in love with him and left her husband, Dr. Peter Lindstrom, and daughter, Pia Lindstrom. America's moral guardians in the press and the pulpits were outraged. She was pregnant and decided to remain in Italy, where her son was born. In 1952, Ingrid had twins, Isotta and Isabella Rossellini, who became an outstanding actress in her own right, as did Pia. Ingrid continued to make films in Italy and finally returned to Hollywood in 1956 in the title role of Anastasia, which was filmed in England. For this, she won her second Academy Award. She had scarcely missed a beat. Ingrid continued to bounce between Europe and the US, making movies, and fine ones at that. A film with Ingrid Bergman was sure to be a quality production. In her final big screen performance in 1978's Autumn Sonata, she had her final Academy Award nomination. And though she didn't win, many felt it was the most sterling performance of her career. Ingrid eventually retired, but not before she gave an outstanding performance in the miniseries A Woman Called Golda, a film about Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir. For this, she won an Emmy Award as Best Actress, but unfortunately, she did not live to see the fruits of her labor. Ingrid died from lymphoma complications following a breast cancer operation on August 29, 1982, her 67th birthday in London, England. Ingrid Bergman was one of the greatest actresses from Hollywood's lamented golden era. Her natural and unpretentious beauty and her immense acting talent made her one of the most celebrated figures in the history of American cinema. Bergman is also one of the most Oscar-winning actresses, tied with Meryl Streep and Frances McDormand, all three of them second only to Katharine Hepburn. To this day, she is still lovingly and vividly remembered by fans worldwide, thanks to the preservation of her films, some of which are now in the public domain, such as Notorious, Gaslight, and Casablanca.